Well, this is the last review of the year of a movie, and it's a banger. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Los Frikis, the newest film for director Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz. Alright guys, so here we have a new film that is actually from the Peanut Butter Falcon directors. It's about a young kid, and I believe it's his cousin, if I remember right, who are part of the Cuban scene that is the punk rock scene. They, though Fidel Castro has kind of outlawed music in a lot of ways, they found ways to play underground. Well, the tighter the squeeze that is under Fidel Castro's reign, the more and more they get desperate, and therefore they turn to an HIV individual who has AIDS, and they inject themselves to go to this camp where they can live free and enjoy and have fun and be spirited and stuff like that. Well, as we learn, when you inject yourself with a HIV virus, that's not going to go very well, but that's not the point of this movie. This movie is about people trying to escape a situation that is very dire, and the levels of dark realism they go through to deal with this. And this is also based on a true story. And while they're there, they meet a bunch of people, a bunch of like really cool kids. There's this woman played by Arjona, that becomes friends with Paco, who's one of the main characters. And it's basically about kids who will escape doing whatever they have to do it. All right, so this is a very interesting film. It's a very interesting movie. This is from the Peanut Butter Falcon guys, who are American. They learned Spanish to direct this film, and it's actually produced by Chris Miller and Phil Lord, who, of course, are very famous producers and directors at this point. So them journeying into this Spanish-speaking film is quite interesting, to be fairly honest. And on top of everything, it premiered at the Miami Film Festival. I didn't get a chance to see it. I heard this movie was excellent. I heard this movie was dark and kind of uncomfortable to watch, but I heard it was a really powerful movie, so I wanted to see it. And luckily, I was able to get a screener for it because I'm not entirely sure when this is going to release in theaters. But I know that it has garnered a lot of positive praise. And so going into this movie, watching it, I understand if you don't like subtitled movies, but this movie is quite powerful. It's quite unsettling. It actually moved me quite a bit, to the point where I was thinking about this movie for quite a while after watching it. This movie is quite the journey, to be fairly honest. I didn't know this was a true story. I didn't know kids were doing this to themselves, or young people that were purposely injecting themselves with HIV AIDS, or just AIDS, whatever you want to call it. I didn't know that this was a thing during Cuba, Fidel Castro's reign. This is very similar to like something like Sound of Metal or something of that nature, Sing Sing, where it tells a really humanistic story. It does it pretty powerfully, and I think Arjona does some of the best work I've seen this year, to be fairly honest. It's a movie that is very uncomfortable to watch, but it is also a very moving movie. It's also a very powerful movie. It's a movie with great music. It's a movie with great direction, great acting. I think Paco does a really nice job in this movie, the guy who plays Paco, because he may or may not be lying about the fact that he stuck himself with a needle. But the journey that these characters go on, the level of kind of sadness and some of the revelations that happen when they go to this special camp are devastating. I mean, one of the main characters, after he realizes that he may have done something really stupid and can't go back, it's a really, really, really sad thing to see. And once again, though it's sad and though it's disturbing and very devastating, there is hope there. There is hope for Paco. There is hope for this world. The fact that after a while, the Fidel Castro eventually subsided from what he was thinking. This is just one of the best movies I've seen this year, to be fairly honest. It's a movie that it sets itself apart because it's so earnest. It sets itself apart like Peanut Butter Falcon, where these individuals, these directors, really have a good eye on what makes humanity tick. And they get into this detail, and they get into this craziness that is the cycle of insanity. It really is, but it is also humanistic in a lot of its approach. I mean, it's also one of the most beautiful looking movies I've seen this year. This movie, unfortunately, won't get a lot of like Oscar buzz or anything like that, but I think it should. I think Adria Arjona should get an Oscar nomination for her performance. I love how grimy and gritty and dark and like uncomfortable this movie gets, but also, like I said, I love the hope. I love the spirit. I love what this movie represents, which is just freedom and independence, but doing it in your own way and kind of sacrificing for other people to live in a lot of respects. So it's a really interesting movie. It's not for everyone. Once again, it is a Spanish-speaking movie. It's from, it's set in Cuba during the 1990s. And I think it's a movie that if you give yourself a chance and you sit down and you watch it, you'll find how powerful the message is in this movie, how powerful the characters are, and how powerful this movie is in general. And once again, it's from the directors of Peanut Butter Falcon, and it just absolutely delivers. So, yeah, that's kind of where I land on this movie, Los Frikis. Very interesting, very powerful. One of the best movies I've seen this year. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, that'll do it. That'll be my take on Los Frikis. Thank you so much for watching. If you have seen this movie, or if this review inspires you to see this movie, let me know in the comments if you see it. Let me know what you think. Or if you've seen it, let me know what you think as well. But with that said, thank you so much. If you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming in next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.